here on KOFE 1240, St. Mary's, your home for Lumberjack sports all season long. We want to take a moment to thank our Lumberjack sports sponsors and hope that you will do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now let's take it to the field where Tim Parrish will have the pregame and the play-by-play. Go Lumberjacks!
And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at the American Legion ball field as we get set for some Lumberjack baseball on a gorgeous day here in St. Mary's. And trying to find my current weather. I didn't look that up just to give you an idea of what we're looking at today as your Lumberjacks are getting ready to take on the Timberlake Tigers. St. Mary's comes into this game with a 2-2 record. The Timberlake Tigers 0-2 on the early part of the season. And current temperature is right around 55 degrees with sunny skies. And once again, like I said, we're here at the American Legion ball field with a nice view of the mountains back here as the backdrop, all the snow-covered Mount Baldy and all that. And the Lumberjacks are sporting some new uniforms today, so they're ready for some ball. Also, I wanted to just give an update. I don't know if I'll be able to figure out or find scores for it, but the Grangeville Bulldogs and the Orofino Maniacs are playing today in a league matchup up in Orofino. So if there was a way for me to find the stat or a score on that one, I would try to get those updates, but I don't think there's going to be a way to do so. But in any case, it is a beautiful day. The Timberlake Tigers taking their innie and outie warm-up on the field right now, and we will be taking a break here in just a second as we get things set here. It's the first game we've done in a couple of weeks, so hopefully everybody had a good Easter break, but now we are ready for our first commercial break.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938, insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. Brent's Electric is a family-owned and operated business right here in St. Mary's. With 36 years of electrical experience, Brent's Electric has been serving all of North Idaho since 1996. From new construction to renovation, Brent's Electric can help. Give them a call today at 208-245-5725. That's 208-245-5725. Brent's Electric in St. Mary's.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is asking for your help. The Booster Club continues to provide needed sports equipment for the St. Mary's High School sports programs, but what they have planned next is big. The Booster Club is in the process of building a new sports complex on land next to the high school parking lot. This new sports complex will include a baseball field, softball field, and soccer field. The fields will be built to according to professionally engineered plans and will be ADA compliant so all Lumberjack fans can enjoy the games. The Booster Club thanks the community for their support throughout the years. With your support, Phase 1 will begin this summer. If you're interested in donating to the new sports complex project, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-568-0288 for details. Let's all come together and get this new complex built for the student body and the community.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
Tim Parrish back here at the American Legion baseball field here in St. Mary's as the St. Mary's Lumberjacks are getting set to take on the Timberlake Tigers in non-league action for some baseball here. And it is the 3A Intermountain League Tigers and the 2A Central Idaho League Lumberjacks. The umpires have just came onto the field, and they are at the home plate going to go over the ground rules and all that with the coaches. Coaches for St. Mary's, of course, is Coach Craig Teft, and the coach for Timberlake is Bill Ryder. Taking a look at, let's go ahead and run over the lineups for you. In the outfield for St. Mary's, pitching on the mound will be Wyatt Holmes. He is a freshman. Behind home plate is the senior Crawford. Over at first base, senior Tanner McMaster. Sophomore at second base, Jared Badgett. Dylan Larson, I believe a junior. I got his, let's see here. I do have all their grades here on their classes. Yes, Dylan Larson, the junior. He is at third base. Sophomore Trace Wicks at shortstop. Over in right field, or left field, is Tristan Nelson. He is a junior. Gabe Thomas, a senior, in center. And it is Sean Hunter, a junior, in right field for St. Mary's. Taking a look at the pitching for Wyatt Holmes. His earned run average is 0. He has no wins and losses. One appearance for him, 2 hits, 5 runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts in the 2 innings that he pitched in the first couple of games of the season. He did hit 1 batter. He faced 12 batters, and he pitched just for 2 innings. As a team, the Lumberjacks have an earned average of 6.6. With 11 appearances, 36 hits allowed, 48 runs, 21 earned runs, 24 walks, 36 strikeouts, 9 hit by pitch, and they have faced 145 batters. In the fielding percentage for the Lumberjacks, 820 is their fielding percentage. They've had 100 total chances with 66 outs, 18 errors, and 2 double plays. The batting order for the Timberlake Tigers is Andrew Horn batting number 1, Caleb Knight batting second, Jacob Hessing third, Wyatt Kitchen fourth, Caden Robinette third, Joseph Borges is batting 6th, Kenny Wells batting 7th, Vance Logue 8th, and Cooper Linz batting in the 9th spot. As a team for the Timberlake Tigers, in their first 2 games of the season, like I said, they are 0-2. They only batted 163 in those games with 9 runs on 7 hits, 6 RBIs. They had 2 doubles, 13 walks, 17 strikeouts, 4 hit by pitches for the team. And so that is a quick look at their team stats. Their leadoff man, Andrew Horn, he has batted 167 in those 2 games, 2 runs, a hit, an RBI, and a double for him. He also has 1 walk and 4 strikeouts with 7 plate appearances and 6 at-bats in those games. I'd mentioned that the Lumberjacks sporting some new jerseys. I was talking to Tanner McMaster. I think he said they got them just yesterday. Yesterday or today, black with gold and green trim on them. Some pretty nice-looking uniform. They've even got their names on the back of them. So that's really a nice-looking set of uniforms for the Lumberjacks. Wyatt Holmes taking his warm-up pitches. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with the opening pitch.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Idaho. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
When was the last time you had great Mexican food? I mean, really great. Has it been a while? Well, grab the kids and head to Casa de Oro for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro has fantastic burritos, tacos, and chimmies. Not to mention fajita and shrimp dishes. Little Johnny doesn't like Mexican food? Well, don't worry. Casa de Oro also has an American menu as well. Dinner and lunch a la fresca. Great service and margaritas with a kick. Casa de Oro, it's what's happening for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro on Golf Course Drive in St. Mary's.
And we are back as they wrap up their warm-up pitches. Wyatt Holmes on the mound for the Lumberjacks. And I actually have his jersey number wrong on my roster. He is number 2. We've got Andrew Horn, the right-handed batter, stepping into the batter box for the Timberlake Tigers as we are underway, getting ready to be underway. First pitch is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Next one is going to be swung on, a ground ball to the second baseman. That's Jared Badgett, and he makes the throw in time for the first out. Over to Tanner McMaster. That'll bring up Caleb Knight with 1 out and nobody on for the Tigers. Right-handed batter once again, Caleb Knight, batting .250 on the season. He is a senior, and the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Stretch the pitch on the way. That one's going to be a called strike on the outside corner. That one just around the belt. So quickly down in the count is Knight 0-2. Holmes looks in, gets his signals. The pitch on the way, and that one is going to catch him in the shoulder, and that'll send him over to first base on the hit by pitch. So 1 runner on, and we have a lefty stepping up now, Jacob Hessing. Jacob Hessing, a senior, batting .250 on the season. 1 run, 1 hit for him. One of those hits was a double. Well, that 1 hit for him was a double. Crawford quickly went out and talked to Holmes real quick and is back behind home plate as we get ready for the first pitch to the lefty. Outfield is shifted over towards right field as that lefty typically hits that direction. So Holmes is stretch. The pitch, the first one is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Next pitch on the way. Another swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 count now to Jacob Hessing. Why Holmes had his last batter, Knight, in that position a minute ago, but then hit him. So we'll see what Holmes does. Next pitch on the way. That one's going to be down in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck will be Wyatt Kitchen. In the hole is Caden Robinette for the Timberlake Tigers. Holmes takes a look over to first base. Runner takes his lead. The stretch, the pitch on the way. That one's just a bit outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hesse. Holmes checks his signal. Now looks over to first. Set, the stretch, and the pitch. That one is going to be popped up in foul territory, and Cade Crawford loses it in the sky up there, and it's going to be just a full ball. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game got started just a tad bit early, I think. Fans still filtering in. Holmes takes a look over to first base once again, sets on the rubber. The pitch on the way. That one is up high. Runs the count full. 3 balls, strikes. 1 out. Runner on first for the Tigers. The stretch. The pitch. Inside corner and rings him up on a called strike 3. Catches him looking. I'll bring up Wyatt Kitchen. He is a junior, batting .500 on the season. 1 run on 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and 3 walks. And he takes a swing at the first pitch for strike 1. 0-1 count to Kitchen. Knight takes his lead on first base for the Tigers. The next pitch on the way. A swing and a miss. Strike 2. Wyatt Kitchen down 0-2 to Holmes. Holmes sets up on the rubber. The pitch on the way. That one's going to be just outside. Ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. The stretch, the pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 3, and he'll get him swinging, and that will retire the sides. As the Tigers come up with no runs, no hits, 1 left on base. And going into the bottom of the first inning, leading off will be Trace Wicks for the Lumberjacks. We'll be back.
Tax time is here again. I know, it's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure you're done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
It's time to reimagine your off-road experience because Yamaha has reimagined the side-by-side. Experience extreme adventure with the all-new 2021 Wolverine R-Max 1000 featuring an all-new 999cc parallel twin engine. Power packed for maximum comfort and versatility, the R-Max 1000 features fully integrated accessories including the Yamaha Adventure Pro navigation system and much more. See for yourself at St. Mary's Son Cycle, then get out and realize your adventure with Yamaha.
And we are back. And we'll get you the outfield lineup for the Timberlake Tigers. Tigers pitching is Wyatt Kitchen. Behind home plate is Caleb Knight. Over at first base, Joseph Borges. Cooper Linz at second base. Third base, Cabin Robinette. Shortstop, Andrew Horn. In left is Kenny Wells. Center field, Jacob Hessing. Right field, it is Vance Logue. And let's see, it is Wyatt Kitchen, a junior, on the mound. ERA of 3.5 for him. 2 strikeouts in the couple of innings that he has pitched. Leading off for the Lumberjacks is going to be Trace Wicks. Trace Wicks batting .375 on the season, 3 hits and 3 RBIs. He's also got 7 walks, just 3 strikeouts. The batting order the top 3 is going to be Trace Wicks, Cade Crawford in the hole or on deck, and Dylan Larson in the hole. Wicks steps into the batter's box, and we're ready for the first pitch for the Lumberjacks. Bottom of the first inning, no score. That's going to be outside, ball 1. One ball, no strike count to Trace Wicks. For his second pitch from Kitchen. On the way. That one's going to miss outside as well for ball number 2. Little upcoming schedule. Lumberjacks are scheduled to be at Timberlake on Thursday and then at Orofino on Saturday. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals. Next pitch on the way. That one's going to be outside and low as well for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Trace Wicks. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals from Knight. Now set to stretch the pitch. That one's going to be down low for ball 4. So that'll send Wicks to lead off over to first base with a walk. That'll bring up Cade Crawford, the senior. Cade Crawford batting .538 on the early part of the season. 7 runs, 7 hits, 8 RBIs. He has a double, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts to his credit. Cade notices that his shoe's on before he gets up there. He steps out of the batter's box and gets his shoe taken care of. Now he's ready to go. Wyatt Kitchen looking in, gets his signal, takes a look over to first base. The stretch, the pitch, he's going to square around a bunt, and he's going to foul that one off for strike 1. Coach Taft over at third base, giving his signals to Wicks over at first and his batter. Crawford back into the batter's box, ready to go again. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals, checks the base. Now the pitch. Down low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cade Crawford. One pitch. Wicks takes his lead. And that pitch is going to be low and outside for a ball. The throw down to second base is going to get just beyond, out in the mid center field a little bit, and that's going to give the stolen base to Wicks as he advances over to second. Two balls and a strike to Cade Crawford. No outs and a runner on second for the Lumberjacks. Crawford waiting for the next pitch. Kitchen checks his bases, now looks into his catcher, gets set. The pitch is on the way. That one's going to be fouled off for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cade Crawford.
a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 50,000 high school student athletes in Idaho have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Idaho high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. We experienced a little technical difficulty there towards the end of that inning. Lumberjacks did come up with 4 runs on 3 hits. They left 2 on base. So the score is 4-0 into the top of the second inning. They got 1 out, and now we got 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls and a strike to number 12. That's Joseph Borges, the junior, who's batting right now for the Timberlake Tigers. Next pitch is going to be ball 3. I believe we got a 3-ball, 1-strike count. On deck is Kenny Wells. In the hole is Vance Logue. Next pitch is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 2. I believe we have a 3-2 count. Full count to Borges. Wyatt Holmes pitching for the Lumberjacks. The stretch and the pitch. That one's going to be outside for ball 4. That'll bring up number 21, Kenny Wells, the sophomore, batting .333 on the season for the Tigers. On deck is Vance Logue for the Tigers. First pitch, a little high in the zone. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strike to Kenny Wells. Try the pickoff over to first base. Did not get it there in time as Borges gets back safely. 1 ball, no strikes to Wells. 1 out, runner on first for the Tigers. The stretch, the pitch. That one is going to be fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kenny Wells. One ball, 1 strike. Holmes sets up the stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Holmes looks in, the pitch on the way, and that's going to be a passed ball. That gets Borges over to second base. Three balls and a strike to Kenny Wells. Holmes looks in, gets his signals, takes a look to second base. The throw over to second. They try the pickoff and they can't get it there. There's going to be an error as that ball gets passed, and out there at second base, and Borges gets over to third. So one down, runner on third for the Tigers now. 3 balls, 1 strike, and that pitch is going to be fouled off by Wells for strike 2. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Kenny Wells. 1 out, runner on third now for the Tigers. They trail 4-0. That pitch is going to be a grounder out to the second baseman, Badgett. The throw to first is in time. They get the out, but 1 run does come across. Count remains. Nope. That Vance Logue, who I think took the first pitch as a ball 1, inside. Next pitch on the way. High, outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs for the Tigers. Nobody on now as their 1 guy came across. 1 run in for the Tigers. Holmes' next pitch to Logue on the way. That one's going to miss outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Logue. Nobody on, 2 outs for the Tigers. On deck is Cooper Lins for the Tigers. And that's going to be a called strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Vance Logue. Pitch on the way, and that one's over the head, and that's going to be ball 4. That puts a runner on first for the Timberlake Tigers, and it'll be Cooper Lins batting in the number 9 spot. He'll be back to the top of the order with Andrew Horn on deck for Timberlake. Cooper Lins, I don't have any stats for him. 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts for him. 5 plate appearances. First pitch is going to be fouled off. Strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Lins. Holmes takes a look over to first base. The throw over to first is not going to be in time, but it does chase Logue back to the bag. Oh, 1 count to Lins. That's going to be hit out into center field, and it's going to be trouble. They can't get to it in time as Gabe Thomas tries to track it down. It's going to be a single for Logue, or Lins, I should say. Runners at the corners for the Tigers. Actually, no. Vance Logue stayed over at second base. So runners at first and second with 2 outs. Andrew Horn grounded out his first at bat. First pitch is going to be high for ball 1. Next pitch from Holmes on the way. That's hit out into center field. Gabe Thomas coming up on it, and he can't get to it. It'll be a base hit, and a run will score on an RBI single, as that one was hit just into a spot that was a little bit hard to get to for the outfielders. And now we have runners on the corners for Timberlake. 2 runs across for the Tigers here in the top of the second inning. 4-2 is the score. And it is Caleb Knight who was hit by a pitch, his first at bat. Going Going to ground that one out to the second baseman, and we're going to get an error on Badgett as that one squeaked between his legs, and another run comes across for the Tigers. Runners now at first and second with 3 runs across here in the top of the second inning. 2 outs. That'll bring up Jacob Hessing, who struck out looking in his first at bat. Tying run is sitting at second base in scoring position. Go ahead run is at first. 2 outs for the Tigers. This is a lefty. Holmes' first pitch to him is on the inside corner. Strike 1. That pitch was a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hessing. Next pitch on the way, and that's going to catch him in the leg, and that'll load the bases up. Coach Teff going to go out and talk to Holmes. The whole infield comes in real quick. Holmes had a great first inning, and he's had a little bit of some struggles here in this second inning. Got the whole infield in at the mound for a quick conference. Doesn't look like there's going to be any changes made at this point. Coach heads back to the dugout, and the infielders head back to their spots. Wyatt Kitchen steps back up to the plate. He struck out swinging his first at bat. Bases are loaded. Lumberjacks have 2 outs on the Tigers. Holmes, the stretch. The pitch on the way. That one's going to be outside for ball 1. The stretch, the pitch. That one. That's going to get past. And a run comes across on the pass ball. And the other 2 batters do advance, so it is tied up. 4 runs across here in the top of the second for the Tigers. They're going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 1, and I believe there's 2 balls and a strike. I'll wait and make sure. Next pitch on the way from Holmes. Fouled off for strike 2. I think the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Kitchen. Runners at second and third. The Tigers a chance to take the lead, but they only need 1 out to retire the sides. That pitch is going to be low and outside for ball 3. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch and the 3-2 pitch on the way. That is going to be a high fly ball. It's going to be into foul territory, and nobody can get to it in time. As we had Crawford, McMaster, and Holmes charging to try to get to that, and nobody could get to it in time. The count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes to Kitchen. Holmes and McMaster come together over there almost in the mud puddle. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Kitchen, 2 outs, runners at second and third, and 4 runs across the Tigers here in the top of the second inning. The pitch on the way, that's swung on, and that is fouled off once again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The full count pitch on the way. And again, that's fouled back. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes as Wyatt Kitchen battling with Wyatt Holmes. The battle of the Wyatts here. Wyatt Kitchen for the Tigers. Wyatt Holmes on the mound for St. Mary's. 8 pitches now taken for Kitchen. Next pitch on the way. Outside corner, and they're going to say ball 4. And I don't know if did he steal that base or? I'm going to call that a stolen base as the runner at third advanced on that ball 4. Which gave another run, the go-ahead run to the Tigers. First pitch to Caden Robinette is a strike 1 called. He grounded out his first at bat. That runner at third must have tagged up or something. He didn't come charging in like he was trying to steal home, but he got in there. Runners again at first, second, and third. Holmes with the next pitch to Robinette. That one's going to be low, outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robinette. 5 runs across for the Timberlake Tigers here in the top of the second. 5-4 is the score. St. Mary's trails. Next pitch on the way, a swing and a miss. Strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes to Robinette. On deck is Borges. The next pitch on the way. That one's going to be outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And another little lapse of judgment there. Concentration by St. Mary's lets another run come across. Next pitch to Robinette's going to be strike 3, and that will retire the sides as the Lumberjacks had a little bit of a lapse of judgment there in that inning. The Tigers come up with 6 runs on 2 hits. There was at least 2 errors and 1 left on base. Might have actually been a 3rd error. The score going into the bottom of the second, it's Timberlake 6, St. Mary's 4. We'll be back.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
Everyone knows that the timber industry is a huge part of our community. Working in the timber industry requires big equipment. Big equipment requires a special mechanic or custom machined items to repair. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's is your very own full-service, large equipment diesel mechanic that not only has a full-size shop, but also has a service truck that can come straight to you when you break down in the woods. If you're in need of big truck or big equipment repair, stop by Jake's Machine and Repair at 106 Homer Drive in St. Mary's or call 208-596-8819. 208-596-8819. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's. And we are back. It is Wyatt Kitchen still pitching for the Timberlake Tigers as we go into the bottom of the second. The Tigers lead 6-4. It'll be the top of the order for St. Mary's. Trace Wicks leading off. He walked his first at bat. On deck will be Cade Crawford. In the hole, I think, will be Dylan Larson. But Dylan was a little gimpy after his first at bat.
So I will wait and see. That pitch is going to be outside and low for ball one. Kitchen gets his signals from Knight. The stretch, the pitch. Inside corner, strike one called. Wicks dove out of there like he thought that was going to be really in tight. And that one just catches that outer edge of the plate, or inside edge of the plate. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals. The pitch on the way, and that's a line drive right up the middle, and it's going to get in there for a base hit. Nice little single up the middle on a grounder that just got past the shortstop and the first, or the pitcher. Went right past him. It like maybe burned a hole in the pant leg of the pitcher. That'll bring up Cade Crawford, who grounded out his first at bat. On deck will be Dylan Larson. In the hole, Sean Hunter. Kitchen looks over to first. The pitch on the way. That's outside. Ball one. One ball, no strike to Crawford. One runner on for St. Mary's. No outs. Bottom of the second inning. St. Mary's trails 6-4. Next pitch. That one's going to be down in the dirt. Ball two. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals from Knight. Takes a look over to first base as Wicks takes his lead. The stretch, the pitch. That's going to be outside. 3 balls, no strikes to Cade Crawford. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals from Knight now. Wicks takes the lead over at first. The stretch, the pitch. And that's going to be down low. Ball 4, and that'll walk Crawford over to second base. So Crawford is the tying run for St. Mary's. Dylan Larson is up. He hit a double his first at bat over to the right field wall. See if he can do the same here. On deck is Sean Hunter. In the hole is Gabe Thomas. Kitchen checks over the bases. Lumberjacks take their leads. The stretch, the pitch, the swing, and that's a high ball. It's popped up, and it's going to be caught for an out on a pop fly over by the first baseman. So runners still at first and second for the Lumberjacks with 1 out. Sean Hunter struck out swinging his first at bat. He'll be up. On deck will be number 13, Gabe Thomas for the Lumberjacks. Kitchen looks in, gets a signal. Runners take their lead. That's a ground ball that the pitcher is able to knock down. Gets the throw over to second in time for the out. That'll bring up Gabe Thomas with 2 outs. Runners at the corners. He singled his first at bat. That pitch is going to paint the outside corner for strike number 1. Oh, 1 count to Thomas. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals, takes a look over the bases. Now the stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gabe Thomas. Kitchen once again gets set. The stretch, the pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Thomas. Kitchen looks in, gets his signal, the 1-2 pitch, the swing, and that's going to be fouled off. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Thomas. Everybody returns to their spot as that one was fouled off down the right field line. Thomas back in the box. Kitchen towing the rubber, taking a look in, getting his signals from Knight. Looks over the bases. Now set. The stretch, the pitch. That's going to be fouled off as well. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Thomas with 2 outs. Runners at the corners for St. Mary's. They trail 6-4 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The stretch, the pitch is going to get him a swing. It's a dropped third, and it's going to be an easy throw down to first for the out. And that will retire the sides. No runs, no hit. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base for St. Mary's. As we get ready to go into the top of the 3rd, leading off will be Joseph Borges. We'll be back.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Bennewash, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back, and we have a pitching change for the Lumberjacks. Tanner McMaster goes from first to the mound as Wyatt Holmes goes over to first base for St. Mary's. Give you some stats for McMaster here in a minute. First pitch is going to be fouled off for strike 1, as it is Joseph Borges batting. He walked his first at bat. Tanner McMaster has a couple of innings pitched, actually 1.2. Earned run error of 16.8. 6 runs, 4 of those were earned, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts for him. As that next pitch was a ball, 1 ball, 1 strike to Borges. The next pitch on the way, and they're going to say that clipped him, and that'll send him down to first base with a hit by pitch. That'll bring up Kenny Wells, who grounded out his first at bat. No outs, runner at first for the Tigers. McMaster looks in, gets his signal, left-handed pitcher. The pitch on the way, nice looking pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball. It's going to be right to the shortstop. They're trying for the double, and they can't get him. So they get the fielder's choice at least on that. and Kenny Wells is safe at first on that fielder's choice. So 1 out. Vance Logue up. He walked his first at bat. That first pitch is going to be a ball, a wild pitch that's going to get Wells over to second for Timberlake. That'll be 1 ball, no strikes to Vance Logue. 1 out, runner on second base. Top of the 3rd inning. St. Mary's trails 6-4. Logue steps back into the box. McMaster looks in, gets his signals, takes a look over to second base. The runner takes his lead. That pitch is going to be a nice one on the outside corner. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Vance Logue. Stretch the pitch, swing on that one, and fouls that one off for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logue. On deck for the Tigers is Cooper Lenz, batting in the number 9 slot. Then they'll be back to the top of the order for Timberlake. 1-2 count to Logue. McMaster takes a look to the second base. Now the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off. That one sounded like it went over into the parking lot, but luckily no car got hit by that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logue as the count remains the same. McMaster set the stretch, the pitch. That's going to be hit out into left field for a base hit. Runners will be at the corners. So runners at first and third for the Tigers. Cade Crawford gives the first and third defensive signals. 1 out for the Tigers. Cooper Lenz hit a single his last at bat. He is batting in that number 9 slot, and he'll be back to the top of the order to Andrew Horn on deck. McMaster looks in, gets his signal, takes a look to first base. The stretch, the pitch. That looked like a good pitch, but a little bit low. Ball 1. Oops. One ball, no strikes. Next pitch on the way. That's going to be high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Or 2 balls and no strikes. McMaster checks over the bases now. The stretch, the pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now to Cooper Lenz. One count. Runners take their lead. McMaster looks over to first. Now the stretch, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled off for strike 2. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got the umpire in the outfield talking to, I think, to McMaster about something. Sets up, looks in now, gets his signals from Crawford behind home plate. Takes a look over to first. The stretch, the pitch, runners on the way, and they're going to throw it down to, they're going to try to get the pickle or the pick off here. There's nobody there to get to him, and he's going to be safe. Back to third. Nobody got there to back up the runner. Lumberjacks tried a little trickeration there. And they had him where they wanted him, but the shortstop, I think it was Wicks, that didn't get over there in time to back up the play, so they didn't have anybody to throw it to on the throwdown. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cooper Lenz. Runners now at second and third. That pitch is going to be fouled off. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Cooper Lenz. Runners on second and third. Just 1 out. Next pitch on the way. That's going to be up high. And that was ball 4. And that'll load the bases up with 1 down. Andrew Horn steps to the plate. A ground out and a single for him in his first 2 at-bats. On deck is Caleb Knight. In the hole, Jacob Hessing. McMaster looks in, gets the signals from Crawford. Doesn't have to look at the bases. Nobody's going to be stealing a base here. Pitch on the way. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. Waiting for the next pitch. McMaster gets a signal to stretch the pitch. That one's going to be outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, and I'm thinking they called a balk on McMaster. And that'll bring a run across for the Tigers. One ball, 1 strike. That's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Wicks gets the throw to first. It's going to be in time. The run does come across for the Tigers, though. Another run. That's 2 runs. That ball is going to get passed for a minute. The score is 8-4 in favor of the Timberlake Tigers. First pitch to Caleb Knight is a ball, and that's going to advance Lenz over to third. It's a wild pitch. 2 down. And that pitch is up high. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the Timberlake Tigers. Caleb Knight. He reached on an error his last at bat. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be high. Ball 3. Cade Crawford with a nice strong throw out to third base, trying to get the pickoff, and it's just going to barely not get there in time. 3 balls, no strikes to Caleb Knight with 2 outs and a runner on third. McMaster looks in, the stretch and the pitch. And that's going to miss for ball 4, and that'll send Knight over to first with runners at the corners. That'll bring up the lefty, Jacob Hessing. He was hit by pitch his last at bat. Going to get a courtesy runner as we get number 14, Luke Arnsbach to come in for Knight. Knight is the catcher, so they're getting him in there. That way, if they do get the third out, he can have his gear ready to go. So lefty versus lefty here. McMaster looks in, the stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be low, ball 1. McMaster gets his signals from Crawford. The stretch, the pitch. That one's high and maybe a little outside, ball 2. McMaster gets his signals from Crawford. Checks over first base. The set, the stretch, the pitch. Wild pitch. Will bring in a run for the Tigers. The score now 9-4 in favor of Timberlake. 6 runs in the second inning for the Tigers, 3 in the top of the third. St. Mary's plated 4 in the first. They were not able to get anybody across in the second. Jacob Hessings sitting there with 3 balls, no strikes, and a runner on second base for the Tigers. 2 down. McMaster, the stretch, the pitch on the way, and that's outside for ball 4. That'll bring up Wyatt Kitchen. Wyatt Kitchen walked his last at bat, struck out swinging his first at bat. He's batting in that number 4 slot. That pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. Stretch, the pitch. That's a nice looking one, and it's going to be a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wyatt Kitchen. And the stretch, the pitch, that one's up high. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike to Kitchen. McMaster looks in, gets a signal. The pitch, that is going to be fouled backwards. For strike number 2, evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McMaster looks in, gets his signal. The stretch, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Well, they're going to say it was a drop third strike, but it doesn't matter as they do get the throw in time. And that will finally end the inning, but there was 3 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, 2 left on base for Timberlake. The Tigers lead 9-4 going into the bottom of the third. We'll be back.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
Are your friends and family tired of sleeping with Fido when they visit? Maybe Fido's tired of sleeping with them. Either way, the Pines Motel is there to save the day. With large, spacious rooms, comfortable beds, and even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel at 245-2545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it, and so would Fido.
And we are back. It'll be Wyatt Holmes leading off for the Lumberjacks. At least I believe it will be. And it is. Wyatt Holmes walked his first at bat. Still pitching is Wyatt Kitchen, as he's having a pretty good afternoon so far, really. He does have 4 hits allowed, but they've only scored 4 runs on those hits. Lumberjacks need to get something going here in this bottom of the third inning to gain some ground back on the Tigers. They started off with a 4-0 lead in the first inning, and then the Tigers ripped off 6 runs in the second and 3 in the third to give them a 9-4 lead. Holmes' first pitch is going to be a chopping ground ball. The third baseman scoops it up. The throw is going to just be in time. That'll bring up Tristan Nelson, who, is that Tristan? Yes, it is. Tristan Nelson walked his first at bat. On deck will be Tanner McMaster. Kitchen gives the first pitch to Nelson. It's going to be inside, strike one. I think Nelson thought that was low, as it looked like it was down around his knees or lower. He looked a little shocked when they called that a strike. Next pitch on the way. It's going to be a strike as well, as that looked like it was a curve. 0-2 count to Nelson. Now he has to protect. Kitchen looks in. The 0-2 pitch on the way, and Nelson's going to swing and miss. Strike three, and Nelson will retire to the dugout with the second out for St. Mary's. That'll bring up Tanner McMaster, who hit a double his first at bat. That double was out into right field. He is a lefty. On deck for St. Mary's, it is going to be Jared Badgett. Kitchen the stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be down low. Ball one. One ball, no strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs for St. Mary's, bottom of the third inning. McMaster, 1 ball, no strike. Next pitch is going to be down low once again, ball 2. Lumberjacks have recorded 1 home run on the season. That was Sean Hunter, the junior, with a home run against Kamiai. Swing and a foul on that next pitch for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. Looks like we might have one of our light bulbs burned out on the scoreboard. I can't see the light for ball 2 out there. McMaster is going to hit that one, but it's a foul ball. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to McMaster. Two count. Kitchen looks in, gets his signal, sets up on the rubber. Now the stretch, the pitch, the swing, and that's going to be fouled down the first base line as Tanner battles for his plate appearance here. Steps back in after taking a couple of practice swings. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals from Knight. Now sets up on the rubber, the stretch, and the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be fouled off once again. McMaster just got a piece of it. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Lumberjacks. Bottom of the third inning, nobody on for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks trail 9-4. The stretch, the pitch, swinging and a miss, and that's going to retire the sides as the Lumberjacks go down swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Into the top of the 4th inning, the Tigers lead 9-4. We'll be back.
If you have OCD, obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull infused or Lotus energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Idaho high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Tim Parrish here on KOFE 1240 as we are at the American Legion baseball field down in St. Mary's as the Lumberjacks taking on the Timber Lake Tigers in non-league action. Lumberjacks trailing, though, 9-4 going into the top of the 4th inning. Tanner McMaster on the mound for the Jacks. Caden Robinette will be stepping to the plate for Timberlake, batting in the number 5 slot. Joseph Borges on deck. St. Mary's last 2 innings have been a little rough for them as they've allowed 6 and 3 runs in the last 2. If they can get out of this inning a little bit better, they need to get some runs across. First pitch down in the dirt, ball 1. One-0 count to Robinette. The stretch, the pitch, that one's going to be up high. 2 balls, no strikes, and no outs. Nobody on for the Tigers, top of the 4th inning. The stretch and the 2-0 pitch is going to be down in the dirt, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Robinette. McMaster gets a signal, sets up. Now the stretch, the pitch on the way, and that's going to be a ball 4 as it's a little high in the zone. And Coach Teft heading out to the mound. Looks like he's going to make a change here in the pitching. Looks like we might be getting Brock Anderson, the freshman, on the mound. We'll go ahead and take a break while they warm up the new pitcher.
Spring is here, and you can make your home beautiful this summer with help from 10th Street Lumber. Besides all the building materials you'll ever need, 10th Street Lumber has landscaping supplies. They have landscaping bricks, concrete bricks, paving bricks, as well as planting materials. So stop by today, whether you're building a deck, a patio, or planting flowers, 10th Street Lumber has it all. 10th Street Lumber at 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, right here in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they...
Hey, we had to cut that one short just a little bit as we have our next batter is up and ready to go. Brock Anderson is going to take that first pitch and put it inside, a swing and a foul ball. For strike number 1. To Borges. Brock Anderson, freshman. Taking a look at his pitching stats here in just a minute. His ERA is 0. Next pitch is going to be down low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. He has 2 appearances with 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Next pitch on the way. That one's going to be outside. Ball 2. And Robinette gets the stolen base, over to second. Two balls and a strike to Borges. Anderson checks second base, looks in, gets his signal. The pitch on the way, a swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Borges. On deck is, should be Kenny Wells. And it is. Anderson doing a little bit of mound maintenance. Now the stretch, the pitch. That one trying to drop one in there on like a curve, and it's going to miss for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count now to Borges. The 3-2 pitch, that is drilled out into deep center, and that is going to be a big-time hit, a double at least, all the way to the fence, and yes, it will be an RBI double by Borges. That hit went all the way to deep center field. Kenny Wells is getting his protective gear off and headed back over to second. So nobody out. One more run across for Timberlake as they now have 10-4 with no outs. Runner at second base. Kenny Wells reached on a fielder's choice his last at bat. That pitch is going to miss outside, ball 1. 1-0 count to Wells. Next pitch on the way, and that one is going to come up a little short, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Wells. The stretch, the pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 1. Look at that curveball that he got him to swing on there. 2 balls and a strike now to Wells. Two-one pitch on the way, a ground ball to the first baseman. McMaster scoops it up and tags him out at first, steps on the bag and gets the out. Runner does advance over to third. One out with a runner on third. Vance Loeb steps to the plate. He had a single out to left field his last at bat. He walked his first at bat. That pitch comes across a little high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Anderson takes a look over to first base or third as the runner takes his lead. The stretch, the pitch. That was a nice pitch, but still a little bit high in the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. For a little guy, sounds like he's got a little bit of speed on those pitches out and hit Crawford's glove with a little bit of a thump. The stretch, the pitch, the swing and a miss, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now to Vance Loeb. On deck is number 6, Cooper Linz, the bottom of the order. stretch. The pitch going to get him to swing at that one as he lost control of that one a little bit, but it's going to be a strike 2. A little bit of a golf swing at that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch on the way. Oh, that one must have just missed. That was a pretty nice looking pitch, but it must have been low for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Logue. Pitch on the way, and that's going to be a foul ball as he got a piece of it. 1 out, runner on third for the Tigers. They've got 1 run across here in the top of the 4th, giving a 10-4 lead. St. Mary's has been held to zeros in the 2nd and the 3rd innings. That's a nice off-speed pitch, and he's going to get him to swing. Strike 3, and 2 down. Cooper Linz steps to the plate. He's got a single and a walk in his at-bats today. First pitch is going to be a wild one. And that'll bring Borges home. (11-4) is the score now for the Tigers. The stretch and the 1-0 pitch is going to miss high for ball 1, or ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Linz. (2-0) pitch on the way. And that's also going to be a ball. 3 balls, no strikes. On deck, it's the top of the order to Andrew Horn. 3-0 pitch on the way. Inside corner, strike 1. 3 balls and a strike now to Cooper Linz. Nobody on, 2 outs. 2 runs across for Timberlake in the top of the 4th. That pitch is going to miss outside for ball 4. Runner at first, top of the order. Andrew Horn steps to the plate. Grounded out his last at bat. He's 1 for 3. He has a single sandwiched between a couple of ground outs. Anderson looks in, checks over to first base. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be low. Ball 1. And Linz gets over on a passed ball, kind of a wild pitch, but it was a 1 hopper in the dirt that Crawford lost for a second, and that sends Linz over to second. 1 ball, no strikes to Horn. 2 outs, runner on second base for the Timberlake Tigers. They've got 2 runs across in the top of the 4th, giving them an 11-4 advantage. That's going to be a ground ball. It's going to be hit right to Brock Anderson, and he's going to scoop it up and throw it to first in time for the out to retire the sides. And that will be the end of the top of the 4th inning. 2 runs across on 1 hit. There's no errors, 1 left on base. It is 11-4 going into the bottom of the 4th. Leading off will be Jared Badgett. We'll be back.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938. Insured by NCUA.
And we are back. Wyatt Kitchen continues on the mound for the Timberlake Tigers. He has a total of 64 pitches, so not a bad number going into the bottom of the fourth. 28 balls, 36 strikes. And it will be Jared Badgett leading off. A ground out for him in his first at bat. This is only his second time to the plate, and he is batting. And then that number 9 slot, so we'll be back to the top of the order for the Lumberjacks with Trace Wicks on deck. Kitchen's first pitch to Badgett is going to be outside corner. I thought it was low and outside, but he calls it a strike one. 0-1 count. Kitchen, the pitch on the way, and that one looks like that same location, and that's a strike 2. That one almost looked low as well, but so it's the 0-2 count to Badgett. Has to protect now, and he's going to take a swing at that next one, almost that same location. It looked like strike 3, and that will be out number 1 for Lumberjacks. Top of the order, Trace Wick steps up. He has a walk and a single, and that can't be Badgett's first time to the plate because Wicks has 2 trips to the plate. This is Wick's third, and that's going to be a strike 1 called. Cade Crawford on deck for St. Mary's. 1 out, nobody on. That one's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Wicks. Wyatt Kitchen getting stronger as the game goes on the mound for Timberlake. Started off a little bit rough with 4 hits in the first inning. And that's going to catch him looking, rings him up as he's going to watch that one come in on him. And I think a little bit of a curveball there catches him off guard. That'll be 2 outs for the Lumberjacks. Cade Crawford to the plate for the Lumberjacks. A ground out and a walk for Crawford. On deck is Dylan Larson. First pitch is going to be a chopping ground ball that goes foul for strike 1 down the third base line. Larson steps back in after taking a couple of practice swings. Kitchen looking in, gets the signals from Knight. The pitch on the way, and that's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman right to him. The throw to first is in time for the out, and it's 3 up and 3 down as the ball is going right to the Tigers, and the Lumberjacks are not getting the offense going. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Lumberjacks will take a 10-4 deficit, 11-4 deficit into the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. Brent's Electric is a family-owned and operated business right here in St. Mary's. With 36 years of electrical experience, Brent's Electric has been serving all of North Idaho since 1996. From new construction to renovation, Brent's Electric can help. Give them a call today at 208-245-5725. That's 208-245-5725. Brent's Electric in St. Mary's.
And we are back going into the top of the 5th inning. It is Timberlake 11, St. Mary's 4 here at the Lumberjack, or the St. Mary's American Legion baseball field. We've got Brock Anderson on the mound for the 2nd inning in a row for him, as he is going to be facing Caleb Knight, who reached on a walk his last at bat. He's 0 for 1 on his at-bat or plate appearances. He has a hit by pitch, an error, and a walk. Reached on an error. On deck will be Hessing. In the hole will be Kitchen for the Timberlake Tigers. First pitch on the way, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike number 1 to Caleb Knight. The stretch, the 0-1 pitch on the way. That is hit out into right field and is going to drop for a base hit. Sean Hunter tracks it down, gets the ball thrown in time, but it is a base hit. Single for Caleb Knight. That'll bring up Jacob Hessing, who is 0 for 1. Left-handed batter going up against Brock Anderson. No outs, runner on first for Timberlake. Brock takes a look over to first base. Now sets up on rubber. He's going to try the throw. Ooh, that was really close. I think the runner almost looked like he was ready to head to second, and he just barely reacted in time to get back. That was a really good pickoff attempt by Brock Anderson. First pitch, though, is going to be low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Hessing. Anderson, the pitch on the way. That one is going to catch the outside corner. Strike 1. One ball, one strike to Hessing. No outs, runner on first for the Tigers, and that one's going to be low, ball 2. And that'll get a runner over to second. Call it a wild pitch. I think that could go either way, as that one was down. It was in front of the plate, and it could be a passed ball as well. Caleb Knight over to second now with no outs, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Hessing. Next pitch is going to be a grounder over to Badgett. Badgett scoops it up, throws it to first in time, and McMaster at first thought about maybe trying to throw it over to second, but he was not going to be able to get it there in time. So they do get the out, but the runner will get over into scoring position to third base with Caleb Knight. So Wyatt Kitchen now steps to the plate, the pitcher for the Timberlake Tigers, batting in the number 4 slot. He is 0 for 2, a strikeout, swinging, a walk, and a drop third. And that pitch is going to be ball 1. And that was low and outside. 1-0 pitch coming from Anderson on the way, and he thought about swinging it down again, but it drifted outside as well. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Kitchen. Anderson gets a signal from Crawford, takes a look over to third base, the stretch, the pitch. That one, I guess, is going to be, I believe, ball 3. Going to have to do a little light bulb change out there on the scoreboard as the second bulb on the ball's lights are burn out. That one is going to be wide for ball 4. Runners at the corners for the Timberlake Tigers. 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. And we have Caden Robinette to the plate for Timberlake. He is 0 for 2. A ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. I'm noticing kind of a common theme here, though, is there's a lot of these batters for Timberlake aren't getting hits, but they are getting walked or hit by pitch. Mostly walks is what getting guys on base for the most part. That pitch is up high. considering there's only 5 hits for Timberlake, 4 hits for St. Mary's. Cade Crawford gives some signals to his outfield, to the defense, with the runners at the corners. Now he retreats back behind the dish, and it sets up the next pitch from Anderson. Anderson, the pitch on the way, and that's going to be, I believe that was a strike. As he took a swing at it, 1 ball, 1 strike to Robinette. One down, runners at the corners. 1 ball, 1 strike to Robinette. That pitch is going to be up high for ball 2. And they're going to get the out as they get the pick off, or they catch him stealing. So 2 outs on that nice pickoff attempt there. 5 from Crawford out to, I believe it was to Badge. I'm not sure. I couldn't see who was out there. Next pitch is going to catch the outside corner, and that's going to even the count up to Robinette. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anderson looks in, the pitch on the way, and gets him to swing. Strike 3, and that will retire the sides. And that will be no hits, or let's see, no runs, no 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. So going into the bottom of the 5th, it's the Tigers 11, St. Mary's 4. We'll be back.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is asking for your help. The Booster Club continues to provide needed sports equipment for the St. Mary's High School sports programs, but what they have planned next is big. The Booster Club is in the process of building a new sports complex on land next to the high school parking lot. This new sports complex will include a baseball field, softball field, and soccer field. The fields will be built according to professionally engineered plans and will be ADA compliant, so all Lumberjack fans can enjoy the games. The Booster Club thanks the community for their support throughout the years. With your support, Phase 1 will begin this summer. If you are interested in donating to the new sports complex project, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-568-0288 for details. Let's all come together and get this new complex built for the student body and the community.
And we are back. It'll be Dylan Larson leading off for the Lumberjacks. He bats in the number 3 slot. He's 1 for 2, a double and a fly out. Sean Hunter should be on deck. Gabe Thomas in the hole for the Lumberjacks. Bottom of the 5th inning. And he hits it right to line drive, right to the first baseman. When St. Mary's gets a bat on the ball here in this game, they're putting it right into a spot where it's easy for the defense to play. Sean Hunter reached on a fielder's choice his last at bat. He was struck out swinging in his first at bat, and he has to do a little hoppy skippy there to get over the top of that ball, as that was well inside. And his teammates over in the dugout chiding him, telling him to wear it. 1 ball, no strikes to Hunter. Kitchen still pitching, 74 pitches for him. That pitch misses outside, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes to Hunter. Next pitch is going to miss down low, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Nobody on, 1 out for the Lumberjacks here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The stretch, the pitch. Inside, ball 4. And that'll put a runner on for St. Mary's. That'll bring up Gabe Thomas for St. Mary's. He was out on a drop third strike his last at bat. His first at bat was a single out to right field. On deck is Brock Anderson. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Kitchen looks over, gets his signals from Knight behind home plate. Now checks the base. Now set. The stretch, the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Thomas. One pitch from Kitchen on the way, and that is hit into center field. And that is going to drop for a base hit. And everybody's going to be safe. I think Coach Teff, wanted them to come on around to third, but he held up over there at second base. So we get runners on first and second with 1 out, and that'll bring up Brock Anderson for the Lumberjacks, his first at-bat of the game. First pitch is going to be low for ball 1. Runners take their leads on first and second. Kitchen checks the bags, now set. The stretch and the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Anderson. Runners on first and second with no outs. On deck is Tristan Nelson. The stretch, the pitch. That looked like a nice one, and it is. Called strike 1. Anderson looking, gets his signals from Coach Teff. Now reset. Runners take their leads. Kitchen, the pitch on the way, and that looks like that same outside corner. Strike 2. When Kitchen finds that spot, he likes it down there, just on the outside corner. And he's gotten quite a few strikes out there. 2-2 count to Anderson, and that pitch is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that will retire Anderson back to the dugout. And 2 outs. That'll bring up Tristan Nelson for the Lumberjacks. He is 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout swinging. Lumberjacks have runners on the bases. They need to bring a couple of them in. That's that outside corner again, but a little low this time. Ball 1 to Nelson. Kitchen checks to second base. Now set on the rubber, the stretch and the pitch. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tristan Nelson. Kitchen looks in, gets his signals, now checks the second base. Now the pitch on the way. Outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nelson. The stretch, the pitch, swing, and it's a drop third strike. He might have been able to get there had he been focused, but he said Nelson doesn't play a lot of, he hasn't played baseball in a while, so he may have been able to make it on that drop third strike. In any case, it is the 3rd out. And Lumberjacks had no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. It is still 11-4 in favor of Timberlake. Into the top of the 6th inning. We'll be back.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Idaho. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back, and Brock Anderson continues on the mound for St. Mary's. Anderson has 39 total pitches, 21 balls, 18 strikes. It'll be Joseph Borges leading off. His last at bat, he had a double out to center field. He is 1 for 1. He has a walk, a hit by pitch, and a double. On deck should be Kenny Wells. Anderson gets the signals from Crawford. Now the stretch and the pitch, and that's going to be reached at and fouled back for strike number 1. We get a timeout called by the umpire down the first base line. I'm not exactly sure what Brock's doing. I think it's something to do with where his foot is. He has to, I believe, he has to start with his foot on the rubber, and then he can move it in front of the rubber. That next pitch is going to be hit into right field, and that's going to be deep all the way to the fence. And it's going to be an RBI double, or not an RBI, just a double for Borges. I don't know why I said it was an RBI. There was nobody on. But it was a nice hit ball down the right field line. And Sean Hunter couldn't get to it because of where it was located. So that puts Joseph Borges on at second with no outs. Kenny Wells will step to the plate. 0 for 3. A ground out, a fielder's choice, and a ground out for him. On deck is Vance Logue. The pitch, and that one's down low. Ball 1 to Kenny Wells. The stretch, the pitch, that one's going to miss outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Wells. The stretch, the pitch, that's going to be a ground ball up to the short, or the second baseman to Badgett. Badgett with the throw to first in time, and 1 out on the ground out. Badgett to McMaster. Borges does advance over to third on the ground ball. So 1 down. That brings up Vance Logue with only 1 out. He struck out swinging his last at bat. He has a walk and a single before that. He is 1 for 2 today. On deck, it's the bottom of the order, Cooper Linz. That ball is hit on the yip on the infield. Making the call and making the catch is going to be Jared Badgett on the flyout. on the infield. So that'll 2 outs now for the Timberlake Tigers. Cooper Linz batting in the number 9 slot. He has a single and 2 walks. He is 1 for 1. Runner on third. 2 down. First pitch is going to be fouled off for strike 1. Anderson looks in. The pitch on the way. That one is going to be a wild pitch that's going to get past. It's going to be a wild pitch, and they try to get the tag out as they got from third to home, but a one run does come across as they score in. Oh, who was that? Joseph Borges scored on that one from third. So we've got 1 ball, 1 strike to Linz with 2 outs. That's going to be a called strike. Nice looking pitch. Looked like a curveball possibly as it started on the inside and cut across to the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Linz. Anderson gets a signal from Crawford. The stretch, the pitch on the way. That one's going to miss low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, it's the top of the order, Andrew Horn. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Linz. 2 outs, nobody on now as 1 run come across for the Tigers. Anderson, the stretch, the pitch on the way. That one's going to miss just, it looked like it was a little bit high. 3 balls and 2 strikes, a full count. Anderson gets his signal, looks in now. The stretch, the pitch on the way, and that one's going to be left high for ball 4. Back to the top of the order to Andrew Horn. He has had 4 trips to the plate. He is 1 for 4. Ground out, single, ground out, and ground out. First pitch is going to be a little wild and ball 1. That'll advance Cooper Linz over to second base. A 1-0 count. Anderson looks in, gets his signals. The pitch on the way. That's going to be fouled down the first base line for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. A 1-1 count to Horn. Anderson, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be in the dirt for ball 2. Crawford knocked it down, but it got out in front of him a little bit there. Now was able to get Linz over to third from second base. Anderson sets up. Now the stretch, the pitch. That's going to be fouled off. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Horn. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be down in the dirt. That one looked like it was going to be coming across nicely, but it dropped a little too early. That runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The stretch, the pitch. That's going to be a grounder. Anderson scoops it up, throws it to first, and they get the out. Nice job by Tanner to get that 1 hopper over at first base. The run does not come across, and that will end the inning with just 1 run across for Timberlake on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Going into the bottom of the 6th, it is 12-4 in favor of Timberlake, and it'll be Tanner McMaster leading off. We'll be back.
When was the last time you had great Mexican food? I mean really great. Has it been a while? Well, grab the kids and head to Casa de Oro for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro has fantastic burritos, tacos, and chimmies. Not to mention fajita and shrimp dishes. Little Johnny doesn't like Mexican food? Well, don't worry. Casa de Oro also has an American menu as well. Dinner and lunch a la fresca. Great service and margaritas with a kick. Casa de Oro, it's what's happening for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro on Golf Course Drive in St. Mary's.
Tax time is here again. I know, it's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
And we are back, and we do have a pitching change for Timberlake as Andrew Horn is going to go to the mound. And Wyatt Kitchen goes out to, I believe it's shortstop, and he had a pretty effective, how many innings did he pitch? 5 innings, I believe. He had 8 strikeouts with 5 hits and 5 walks, so not too bad for him. So the Lumberjacks will have to figure out a new pitcher here for Timberlake. Andrew Horn, though, has a 52.5 ERA. 1 appearance, 1 hit, 5 runs. All 5 of those were earned runs. Walked 3 and hit 1, and that was all in a .2 of an inning. So he didn't pitch very long, and he allowed 5 runs. So we'll see what he can do and what Lumberjacks can do if they can get him figured out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. McMaster leads off, struck out swinging his first at bat. His last at bat. He did hit a double his first at bat. First pitch is going to be down low for ball number 1. Horn looks in, gets his signals. Next pitch on the way. That was a nice pitch right down the middle. A swing and a miss. Strike 1 by McMaster. The count is 1-1. McMaster bats in that number 8 slot. It should be Jared Badgett on deck. Next pitch on the way, and that was a nice pitch down the middle, and it's going to just be a blooper. That's going to be drop on the infield dirt, and the shortstop is able to get it and get the throw out in time. So that'll be 1 out. With Jared Badgett stepping up. He's 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout swinging. First pitch is up high, ball 1. Next pitch. Going to take a swing at that one, strike 1. That pitch looked like it might have been a little bit high, a little bit outside, but he took a nice, healthy cut at that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Badgett. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. The stretch, the pitch, the swing. It's a ground ball to the shortstop, and he reads it well. Badgett is going to be there in time, and I'm actually going to I'm going to give him the base hit on it. I think he might have just outran that. Give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. It was a ground ball. That'll bring up Trace Wicks with 1 out. Wicks, a walk, a single, and a strikeout looking. First pitch is up high for ball one. And Jared Badgett with a nice stolen base and a slide into second. They tried to throw out there, and he got the second baseman way up off the bag. He tried to get the tag, but he couldn't get it in time. And Jared Badgett slid in underneath him. So we've got a runner at second for St. Mary's. 1 ball, no strikes to Trace Wicks. The stretch, the pitch. That's that spot. Well, that was that spot that Kitchen liked. Low and outside, but it's a called strike. Not necessarily low. I mean, not as far as, not a ball, but it was just that outside corner. That umpire really likes that spot. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wicks. That one's going to be low and inside. And the ball is going to be bumped around by Caleb Knight, and Jared Badgett gets over on the, I'm going to call it a passed ball. So Badgett is over to third with 1 out. 2 balls and a strike to Wicks. Next pitch from Horn. Low and outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Wicks. Into the top of the order, it'll be Cade Crawford on deck for St. Mary's. Horn looks in, checks the bag. Now the pitch on the way. That's going to be a called strike. Looked almost a little low, but runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Wicks. The stretch, the pitch, and gets him to swing on that one. It was had to swing on it, anything close, and that's going to be strike 3. 2 down. That'll bring up Cade Crawford with a runner on third. A ground out, a walk, and a ground out for Crawford. So not exactly the day he was hoping to have, I'm sure, at this point in time anyways. First pitch, right down the middle, called strike 1. Horn gets a signal from Knight. Set, the stretch, the pitch on the way. That one is at outside corner. I think Crawford thought it was going to be outside and a ball, but they've been calling that one a strike all day. Horn looks in, the stretch, the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be fouled back. 0-2 count to Crawford. Two outs and a runner on third. Jared Badgett worked his tail off to get over to third. Be nice to see him get brought home. Horn, the pitch on the way, and that's going to be a foul ball as he gets just a piece of that one. Crawford down 0-2 in the count, has to battle here. Horn looks in, gets a signal, the stretch, the pitch. That one is going to be fouled off once again. And that found a car out there in the parking lot. It's 0-2 to Cade Crawford. Horn gets a signal, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be in the dirt. One ball, 2 strikes. I think I hear some giggling from the Lumberjack dugout. It might have been a Lumberjack car that got hit by the ball. Horn looks in. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, and that was really close to that area he'd been calling strikes, but just must have been below. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Crawford as he's battling with Andrew Horn. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be over the top of Crawford for ball 3 as he works himself into a full count. No, they say that was ball 4. I must have missed one somewhere along there, some in the line. 2 outs. That'll bring up Dylan Larson. Runners at the corners for St. Mary's. Larson with a line drive out his last at bat. Hit it right to the first baseman. Low and outside on the first pitch, ball 1. His first at bat, it was a double for Larson. Then a fly out and that line drive out. The stretch, the pitch, the runner on the way, the ground ball foul, strike 1. I think the hit and run might have been on that one to get Crawford over to second base. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Larson. The stretch, the pitch, again, he's on the way, and that is a line drive ground ball that gets hit out to right field. It brings in 1 run, and Crawford gets over to third. So runners at the corners now for St. Mary's. And 1 run across. St. Mary's down 12-5. They still need 7 more runs, though, and we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs. Runners at the corner. Sean Hunter. First pitch is low to Hunter. Ball 1. Strikeout swinging. A fielder's choice and a walk for him in his first 3 plate appearances. He's 0 for 2. That one is going to be... That looked really close to being in play, but it's going to be a foul ball for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike now to Sean Hunter with 2 down. Runners at the corners for St. Mary's. We've got Dylan Larson at first, and it's Cade Crawford at third. The pitch, that one's well outside. A wild pitch, and a run will come across for the Lumberjacks as Cade Crawford comes in. Dylan Larson advances over to second on that same wild pitch. So 2 runs across for St. Mary's. They've cut the lead in half. They trail 12-6. Sean Hunter with 2 balls and a strike. On deck will be Thomas. That pitch is down low and in the dirt, ball 3. Three balls and a strike to Hunter with 2 outs, runner on second base. A couple of runs across for the Lumberjacks here in the bottom of the 6th. It's their first runs in since the first inning. That is a nice looking pitch, and it's going to be a called strike. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter. The 3-2 pitch on the way. That's outside, ball 4. I had to wait a minute because that's been a sweet spot for the umpire. It almost looked like the same spot that some of those strikes had been called earlier, but he goes to the side of the ball, and it walks Hunter to first base. So we've got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Gabe Thomas hit a single his last at bat. That first pitch is up high for ball 1. Thomas has a single in his first at bat, then a dropped third, and then a single in his second at bat. He is 2 for 3. 1 strikeout sandwiched in between a couple of singles. The stretch, the pitch, again up high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Thomas. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Couple of runs across. That pitch was a nice one that gets him to swing at it. Strike 1. 2-1 count to Thomas now. The stretch, the pitch, the swing, and that one's fouled back. That is strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Thomas as he evens the count up. Ran out of balls for the umpire. They got to get some balls out there to him. Dylan Holder is on deck for the Lumberjacks. He looks like he's got the catcher gear on, so I wonder if Cade Crawford must be maybe going to the mound here in the top of the 7th. 2-2 count to Thomas. That pitch is going to be on the handle, and he gets the hit on, but they get the throw to first, as that was a weird little hit by Thomas, but it was out at first base. The Lumberjacks do come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 on base. The score is 12-6 going into the top of the 7th in favor of Timberlake. And we'll be back. And I've got to fix that score.
It's time to reimagine your off-road experience because Yamaha has reimagined the side-by-side. Experience extreme adventure with the all-new 2021 Wolverine R-Max 1000 featuring an all-new 999cc parallel twin engine. Power packed for maximum comfort and versatility, the R-Max 1000 features fully integrated accessories including the Yamaha Adventure Pro navigation system and much more. See for yourself at St. Mary's San Cycle, then get out there and realize your adventure with Yamaha.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we are back. It'll be Cade Crawford heading to the mound for St. Mary's. And I think this is the first time that Cade has pitched this year. So we'll see what he can do. The score is 12-6 in favor of Timberlake. Top of the 7th inning. St. Mary's needs to get 3 quick outs here and then try to get some magic in that second inning, in that last inning. First pitch is going to be a nice one. It gets Caleb Knight swinging for strike number 1. Next pitch, that's hit out into right field. And Sean Hunter is going to track it down and get the ball knocked down, but it's going to be a base hit for Caleb Knight. I'll bring up the lefty, Jacob Hessing. Courtesy runner. Ethan Balavage, Luke Armsbach. Jacob Hessing grounded out his last at bat. He's 0 for 2. A strikeout swing and hit by pitch, a walk, and a ground out. First pitch, hit into deep center. Can he track it down? No. Thomas can't get to it as it gets over his head. Goes all the way to the fence, and it's going to be a double for Hessing on a big hit out to center field. So no outs now. Runners on second and third. Wyatt Kitchen steps to the plate. He is 0 for 2. His last at bat was a walk. Lumberjacks gained a couple of runs in that 6th inning. They can't give them back up here in the top of the 7th, but they have no outs. Down low, ball 1, and it gets away from Holder, and they can't get the throw in time, and a run comes across. So 1 run across, top of the 7th inning for the Tigers. They lead 13-6. Wyatt Kitchen at the plate with 1 ball, no strikes. Jacob Hessing at third. And that pitch is going to be up high, ball 1 or 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Kitchen. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be outside, and it's going to get past Holder, but it came off the backstop so hard that it went all the way back out to the base, basically, and it didn't give Hessing any time to try to get in from third on that one. Lumberjacks catch a little bit of a break with that ball coming off the backstop so hard. 3-0 pitch count, and that one is going to be a called strike. Three balls and a strike now to Kitchen. And that's a wild pitch, ball 4, and the run will come across. So Lumberjacks 2 runs they'd gained have just been given back. 14-6, Lumberjacks trail. Brings up Robinette, and there's a wild pitch. That one's well outside. And that'll get Kitchen over to second base. On deck is Borges for the Tigers. Crawford gets his signals from Holder. The stretch, the pitch, that one's going to be up high. 2 balls. No strikes to Robinette. Next pitch, that one is high. Thought about swinging at it, but decided not to, and that was the right decision. Ball 3 as that one was up high. Crawford takes a look over to second base. The pitch on the way. That one is going to be a called strike 1. Still no outs. Runner on second for Timberlake. They've got 2 runs across here in the top of the 7th. They lead 14-6. That looks like the outside corner, and it is. Strike 2 runs the count full, 3-2. Crawford looks in, gets his signals. The 3-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be high, ball 4. Runners at first and second now for the Timberlake Tigers. That brings up Joseph Borges with no outs. His last 2 at-bats have been doubles. One of those was to right field, one of them was to center. And he takes a nice swing at that first pitch for strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Borges. Next pitch misses down low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Borges. The stretch, the pitch, that one just low again. Looked like pretty good ball placement, but low in the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Runners still at first and second. Robinette over at first. Kitchen at second for the Tigers. Next pitch, that one's outside. 3 balls and a strike. Runners take their lead. Crawford takes a look over to second. The pitch on the way, and he gets him to swing at that next one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runs the count full. Next pitch. Oh, I think they say it got a piece of him. That puts the bases loaded with no outs, and Coach Taft is going to head out to the mound. And it looks like he's going to see a pitching change already as Cade Crawford is going to hand the ball over. It looks like we might be getting Ricky Nelson to come in. And some shifting doing here. I'm going to have to see who they send out. We'll go ahead and take a break.
Is your rig's check engine light on? Idling a little rough? Time for an oil change. Maybe you need tires. Stop by Jim's Auto Repair and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto Repair can take care of your automotive needs fast. If you have a dead battery, Jim's Auto Repair and Tire Pros can set you up with a great AC Delco battery. Did we mention tires? Jim's Auto Repair is an authorized Tire Pros dealer and can get you a great deal on tires for your rig. Locations in St. Mary's and Plummer. Jim's Auto and 95 Tires. Give them a call, 208-686-0425, 208-686-0425, or stop by today. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
And we are back. It will be freshman Ricky Nelson to the mound for St. Mary's. Going out to left field is Cade Crawford. Ricky Nelson has an ERA of 3.5, 1 win on the season, 2 appearances, 9 hits, 7 runs. 3 of those were earned runs, only 2 walks to 9 strikeouts, and no hit by pitches. So not too bad of a stat line for the early part of the season. Kenny Wells steps to the plate for the Tigers. First pitch is a called strike 1. Bases loaded, no outs. Nelson's next pitch is going to be fouled backwards. Strike 2, 0-2 count to Kenny Wells. On deck is Vance Logue. And that's going to be a ground ball. It's going to be hit to the shortstop. They're going to flip it to second base to get the out on the fielder's choice. So runners now at the corners, and 1 run does come across. For Timberlake. First pitch to Vance Logue outside, ball 1. Next pitch, that one's going to be up high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. To Vance Logue. I think we've got 1 down. And they're going to call a balk. That'll advance another run through. The umpire out there is explaining to Ricky Nelson what he was doing wrong. They got the balk to kind of help him correct it. Nelson is a freshman, so he's in a interesting spot here. Probably more than that, 3 freshmen that do some pitching here, maybe a few more now. Let me double check that. You've got Brock Anderson, you got Wyatt Holmes, Nelson. That pitch is fouled back. Even Gavin Wimhoff does some pitching. So 2 balls, 1 strike now to Logue as he fouled that one back. 1 out. That ball is hit out into the gap into center field on a ground ball. They're going to try to get the run to come in, and they can't. Almost got the ball there in time, but couldn't quite get it there. The runner comes home, and the runner on first gets over to third or to second on the throw. 17-6, Lumberjacks trail is now 5 runs across for Timberlake. That pitch is going to be inside on Cooper Linz for, I believe, ball 1. This pitch is going to be high and inside. Ball 2. That pitch is going to be outside, ball 3. That one's going to be hit foul on that next pitch for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Cooper Linz. 1 down, runner at second base for the Tigers. Three balls and a strike to Linz. They had to get a ball out of the way out there. It was down the right field line. That was a nice pitch, and it's going to be a called strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Linz. Linz hit a single his first at bat, has walked the last 3. The stretch, the pitch. Oh, just outside, just a little low. Ball 4. And that puts a runner on first and second. That'll bring up Andrew Horn back at the top of the order. He is 1 for 5. Can't see what his last at bat was. And he's going to pop that thing up down the right field line, and it's going to get out of play for strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Horn. 1 out, runners on first and second for the Timberlake Tigers. They've got 5 runs across here in the 7th, and that one is going to be hit and fouled off. Just landed just right behind a couple of Timberlake fans over here behind the backstop. 0-2 count to Horn. Just 1 out, runners on first and second. The pitch on the way, and he's going to swing right over the top of that one for strike 3, and Nelson will get the strikeout. That should bring up Caleb Knight, the catcher for the Tigers. His last 2 at-bats have been singles, so he's 2 for 3. Has a walk, reached on an error, and a hit by pitch in his other at-bats. First pitch on the way, and it's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Nelson gets his signal from Holder. Now sets up. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Oh, 2 count to Knight. The pitch on the way. And that's going to be lifted up on the infield. Badgett is going to call for it and make the catch for that final out. But some damage done by Timberlake in the top of the 7th as they put 5 more runs on the board. 17-6 is the score. It was 5 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was 2 left on base. 17-6, Tigers lead. It'll be Brock Anderson. Actually, I think we've got a change there. I think it's Holder leading off when we come back.
Jack Buell Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 50,000 high school student athletes in Idaho have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Idaho high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Dylan Holder will lead off for the Lumberjacks in the bottom of the 7th inning. He batting 143 on the season, 2 runs, 1 RBI. He's walked 6 times and struck out 3. 13 plate appearances, 7 at-bats, and the first pitch is going to be a called strike 1. On deck is Ricky Nelson. In the stretch, the pitch, that one's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Holder. The pitch on the way from Horn is going to be low and outside again. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Lumberjacks need an 11-run inning here to tie this up. Pretty tall order, but you never know what happens late in the ball game. 2 balls and a strike to Holder. Horn looks in. The pitch on the way. Swinging right underneath that one. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Holder. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Holder. He's going to have to protect now. The pitch on the way, and he's going to watch that one come through. Strike 3. Caught him looking, too. That'll bring up Ricky Nelson for the Lumberjacks. A left-handed batter. Batting 200 on the season. First pitch is inside, strike 1. He has 4 runs, a hit, and an RBI. Only struck out 3 times with 4 walks. Next pitch, that looks like that same spot, but a little bit low. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nelson. 1 out, nobody on for the Lumberjacks. The stretch, the pitch, that one's going to be inside in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. On deck is Riley Abel for the Lumberjacks. He's also, I believe, a freshman. The stretch, the pitch, that looked like a nice one, and it's strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nelson. 2-2 pitch on the way, high inside. Ball 3, runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hey, that light's working out there on the balls and strikes light bulbs on the scoreboard again. Didn't seem like it was working earlier. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that'll be 2 outs. That'll bring up Riley Abel for the Lumberjacks. He is a freshman. 286 on the season is his batting average. 2 hits and 3 RBIs. He has 2 strikeouts. 7 plate appearances and 7 at-bats. First pitch is going to be foul tip, strike 1. A 1 count to Abel. That pitch misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch is going to be left outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Abel. That next pitch on the way, that one's going to be low for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Abel. On deck is Jackson Nantel for the Lumberjacks. Next pitch. And that one's going to be down low, ball 4. Jackson Nantel, a freshman, 333 on the season for his batting average. 3 runs on a hit, 2 walks for him. 6 plate appearances with 3 at-bats. He has not struck out, not been hit by pitch, and he's walked twice. First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Horn looks in, the stretch, the pitch on the way. He gets him to swing, strike 2. Oh, 2 count to Nantel. Horn getting his signals, looks over to first base, now set. The stretch, the pitch on the way, and he's going to swing on one that was low and inside for strike 3, and that will retire the sides, and that will end the game. Lumberjacks come up short on this one as they fall 17-6 to the Tigers. We'll be back, and we'll wrap this game up.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
Everyone knows that the timber industry is a huge part of our community. Working in the timber industry requires big equipment. Big equipment requires a special mechanic or custom machined items to repair. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's is your very own full-service, large equipment diesel mechanic that not only has a full-size shop, but also has a service truck that can come straight to you when you break down in the woods. If you're in need of big truck or big equipment repair, stop by Jake's Machine and Repair at 106 Homer Drive in St. Mary's or call 208-596-8819. 208-596-8819. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and Lumberjacks fall 17-6 to the visiting Timberlake Tigers here in today's matchup. And it was started off good for the Lumberjacks as they held Timberlake to no runs in the first inning, and the Lumberjacks put 4 across, and then Timberlake bounced back with 6 runs in the second, and 3 runs in the third, 2 runs in the fourth. St. Mary's had no runs from the second to the fifth, as Timberlake also had no runs in the fifth. In the sixth inning, Timberlake had 1 run, St. Mary's with 2. In the seventh inning, it was Timberlake with 5 and St. Mary's with none. That gets us that 17-6 finish. 9 hits for the Tigers, no errors, 9 left on base. St. Mary's had 7 hits with 2 errors and 9 left on base. Batting as a team for both teams, as we'll take a look at that real quickly. The Tigers, they batted .300. The best batter today was actually Cooper Lenz, batted perfect, as did Borges, and Caleb Knight was at .500 on the day. For the Lumberjacks, they batted .275, I believe it was, when I looked at this a minute ago, as my tablet is calculating it up. No, .250 for the Lumberjacks. Trace Wicks was .333. Dylan Larson was .500. Gabe Thomas was .500. And McMaster was .333. Badgett was .333. Pitching, St. Mary's ended up with 7 strikeouts only today, 13 walks, and 4 hit batters. That says 2 balks, but I think there was more than that. Maybe there was only 2. 9 hits for the Lumberjacks. The earned run average of the team was 13. For Timberlake, Wyatt Kitchen gets the win. He had an ERA of 5.6, as the ERA for the team was 6. The Timberlake Tigers struck out 12. They had 7 hits, 8 walks, and they didn't hit any Lumberjack batters. On the fielding side of things, Timberlake fielded perfect, as they had 21 putouts and 9 assists in the game. And St. Mary's, they had a 944, as they had a couple of errors. 21 putouts, though, 13 assists in the game. So just a rough one for the Lumberjacks. Like I said, it started out pretty good. They will be on the road to face Timberlake on Thursday, so they'll have to take them on up in Timberlake on Thursday. I don't think we're going to be making it to that game, as we have some other commitments going on that day. And we're going to see what we can do about the Saturday games, as the Lumberjacks are supposed to be at Orofino. But until then, we're going to call it good here from the American Legion ball fields. And it was a great night for some baseball. If you didn't come down and take it in, well, you missed some pretty nice weather out here. In any case, let's see here. We're going to wrap things up. I'm Tim Parrish for KOFE.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks!